Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Akele Atkins, attorney at law, right here in the Bay Area. Akele, when we went to break, I indicated that I wanted to ask you a little bit about the probate court and how that operates. You any comments on that?
I would actually recommend that you do not go to
To
probate
probate
court.
court. Why?
I would
Why?
truly recommend that. I think that if it's back to that, if families can work together and work through the process of what that person who wanted you or this person to have this or that together, you're more likely to end up with keeping your money and your property. If you go to probate court and there's too much of a disagreement between those family members and not one of those people, in their opinion, is clearly capable of administering the trust or the will, they're going to appoint someone from the probate court themselves, and they do get paid. And they don't get paid from from the beneficiaries of the will or the trust. They get
Yeah.
paid from the property, the monies that are in the trust. So all of those things have to be accounted for. So keep yourself out of probate.
So I guess there are some statutory fees that are involved in the
There are.
probate court. So if you can do a trust, do a trust. If you can do a will, or combine the two. Is that right?
I agree totally.
Okay. Now, let's talk for a moment about some of your community services that you may be engaged in. Are you a member of the AACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People?
Absolutely, the Oakland branch.
The Oakland branch. Now, how long you been a member of the Oakland branch of the NAACP?
You know, it's been so long.
Been so long,
I can't give you the
been
exact
so
figure.
long she can't remember. Now that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means you've been a member for a long time, and everybody ought to be a member of the NAACP. And you know why? Because it is insurance, civil rights insurance. And you got to have civil rights insurance. Okay, now tell us what position, if any, that you may have with the NAACP.
I was appointed as the chair of the Legal Redress Committee.
And what is that? That sounds like an awfully big title. As a matter of fact, I used to be chair of the Legal Redress Committee of the NAACP. Now, but for our viewers, explain what that is.
Well, my duties include, we get a large number of correspondence. A lot of it comes from the prisons. A lot of it comes from people in the community who feel that they've been wronged, or they're trying to figure out how to make something right. It could come from anywhere from prison to elder abuse, to it's some of everything. And my duty and responsibility is to point people in the direction to where they can go to actually get the help that can directly address what their needs are. So I'm not necessarily representing people, but I'm making sure that I facilitate their ability to get the things that they need to solve their issues.
So what does a typical person write to you about who's in prison?
A typical person, it could be both male and female. I think some of the most disturbing things I read was, I believe it's from the women's prison. I won't say the name of it, but there was a series of, and I think it was on the news for quite some time, a series of abuse against women, sexual abuse against women by the guards, and that type of thing. It was pretty terrible, and it did become a big issue, but they're writing just to find out, is there anybody that would be willing to represent me?
So they're writing you to see if you
To
can
see if I
refer
can
to
direct them
somebody
to
else.
anyone that could help represent them, because their issues have to be heard. So you do that. And there's so many places that you can direct people to who are incarcerated. So many places you can direct people to when they aren't incarcerated. And I keep a list of it, and then I just refer.
And do you find that rewarding?
You know, I do. You know,
And why?
Well, I find it rewarding because I'm giving somebody an opportunity to move beyond those walls. Well, but once you give that person the opportunity, I guess I should feel really great, because about 40 other ones are going to be looking for the same opportunity. So they share information, and I share information with them. So it's a good thing.
Now, are there any cases that the Legal Redress Committee may take on its own once they get a complaint from a person, or is it pretty much just referral out?
Right now, it's refer out. I believe if there was a case that we could take, it would have to go through national for approval.
And once it goes through national for approval, then you could handle the case. Is that right?
I'm not sure if we could actually handle the case, but I think we could send it to a panel of lawyers that we have to handle the case.
I remember years ago when we ran into that situation with the Oakland Police Department, and we did get a referral, the Charles Houston Bar Association, and we did actually litigate the case on behalf of the NAACPs, the defamation, libel, slander case that we ultimately won, and won big. Don't touch that remote. We do have to go to break. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Akele Atkins, attorney at law. We will be right back with All About Community.